Hi students, myself Dr. K. Sivaya, Department of Pharmacology, TVM College of Pharmacy. Last class we discussed about HMP shift pathway. Next, in the carbohydrate metabolism, the next topic is gluconeogenesis. So gluco means glucose, neo means new, genesis means formation. So in biologically, the formation of glucose from non-carbohydrate is called as gluconeogenesis. So that non-carbohydrate compounds are pyruvate, lactate, glucogenic amino acids, glycerol, and propionate. So from these, the glucose was formed. That's why it is called as gluconeogenesis. These gluconeogenesis, where it is occurs, the location is main site liver. Why it is main site for the liver? For the formation of gluconeogenes required enzymes, that required enzymes are present in liver. That's why. So remaining 10% kidney. The gluconeogenes is the reciprocal pathway of glycolysis. So these gluconeogenesis, if you studied glycolysis, it is a reversal process, but only few enzymes are different. Remaining as it is, reversal glycolysis is called as gluconeogenesis. It's depending upon the cell physiological conditions, either gluconeogenesis or glycolysis takes place. So physiological conditions favoring one display the other, and vice versa. Nothing but if it is glucose required, the formation of gluconeogenesis, that is favor for the gluconeogenesis, and the disfavor for the glycolysis, formation of ATP. So it is vice versa. It's depending upon the need of the cell. Either glycolysis or gluconeogenesis happen in the cell. The general principles of metabolic control. So what is the how? It is reversal. The pathways are reversal each other under reciprocal control. It is always under the control of cell requirement and needful whatever it is required. That's all. So what is the need for the, what is the importance of the gluconeogenesis? See, if you didn't take the food, if you didn't take the carbohydrate, if you didn't eat carbohydrate in the diet, so these liver, what is doing? It's synthesizing glucose from the propionate, lactate, glycerol, and other. That glucose is essential for essential organs. That why I am telling essential organs means they needed continuous supply, especially brain, heart, kidney, medulla. These organs, they required continuous supply of glucose. If you see, if you didn't take the breakfast, already I said in the class also, if you didn't take the breakfast in the early morning, if you take food, the carbohydrate late, maybe 2 o'clock or 3 p.m., if you taken, immediately you can get a headache because of the deficiency of glucose molecules less in the brain, because of you didn't take the morning breakfast. Because of that, some people's, it is few people's, means those are deficiencies have the glucose molecules compulsory, they get the headache. because of they are hungry. Glucose molecules are necessary for the process. So the importance of gluconeogenesis is because of every continuously needed the brain, heart, and kidney medulla. Next, glucose is the only fuel to supply the energy to skeletal muscle under anaerobic conditions. Skeletal muscle also needed energy in anaerobic conditions. In anaerobic conditions, the skeletal muscle, every cell had needed the energy. If the cell want to function, so compulsory need the glucose. That glucose undergoes to glycolysis to produce the then. So amino acid or lactate pyruvate converted into glucose. Then glucose is enter into the glycolysis. Then glycolysis produces the ATP. At the same time, the pyruvate enter into the citric acid. The citric acid after citric acid cycle to produce some more energy. That energy utilized by the cell. Got it? So that is the process. So all other carbohydrates can be synthesized from glucose. In fasting more than a day, gluconeogenesis supplies the intermediate of citric acid cycle. So in fasting more than a day, if you fasting more than a day, the gluconeogenesis supplies the intermediate of the citric acid cycle. So that's why I'm telling. If the glucose is not available, they are generate from the amino acids or pyruvate or lactate or some other propionate. It will converted into glucose. Then after that it enter into it is entered in glycolysis. Then after that citric acid cycle. Glucose is essentially in adipose tissue as a source of glycerol. For the formation of glycerol, the glucose is essential. It is important to clear metabolic products in the blood. See, during the glycolysis, some citric acid cycle, so these lactate and glycerol pyruvate propionates are formed. These are entered into the bloodstream. If it is these levels, lactate and glycerol pyruvates, or if it is more, the imbalance of blood, so that they are converted into glucose molecule. The lactate is converted to glucose, the glycerol is converted to glucose, pyruvate is converted to glucose, and the propionate is converted to glucose. So the gluconeogenesis to clear these products in the blood. Already you studied glycolysis. This is the gluconeogenesis reversal pathway of glycolysis. See, the end product of the in glycolysis is pyruvate. Here the starting product, starting substrate is pyruvate in the gluconeogenesis. So the glucose neogenesis is converted into oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate in the presence of pyruvate carboxylase. So then to form the oxaloacetate. It is mainly the carboxyl group is added. That's why it's carboxylase. So pyruvate carboxylase. So then form the oxaloacetate. Here utilized the 2 ATP molecules. So the 2 ADPs are formed. Then oxaloacetate converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. And here it is lost the carbon dioxide. Here it is added, then here it is released. Here the 2 GTP molecules, because of here we said that 2 pyruvate. That's why it is 2. Actually 1 ATP only. Okay, so here the glycolysis 2 pyruvates are formed. Am I correct or not? Just you check it one glycolysis process. At the end of the glycolysis, we can get the 2 pyruvates. So that's why they given the 2. Fine. So that's why actually one pyruvate is converted into oxalo acetate is found 1 ATP only, but here the two pyruvates, that's why it's a 2 ATPs. Fine. So the pyruvate is converted to oxalo acetate. The oxalo acetate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. The phosphoenol pyruvate is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate. The phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. Then 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate in the presence of phosphoglycerate kinase. Phosphoglycerate kinase. Here the I said already when the kinase enzyme came, either phosphorylation or dephosphorylation. Here the 1-phosphate group is sad and 1 ATP is utilized. ATP is utilized. So in ATP it is like here the loss of ADP and to form the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. So 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So how it is formed 1,3-fructose 1,6-phosphate? The 1,3-bisphosphate it is formed the dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Just you check it one and glycolysis. These dihydroacetone phosphate is formed. Then the combined with the dihydroacetone phosphate and the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to form the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Then fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate in the presence of fructose 1,6-phosphatase. Here the enzyme important. That is enzyme is phosphatase. Then fructose 1,6-bisphosphate when it is converted to fructose 6-phosphate, it is again able to form the glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of isomerase. In the presence of isomerase enzyme. Then glucose 6-phosphate is converted into glucose. Here the enzyme is different. Glucose 6-phosphatase. Glucose 6-phosphatase. Remaining enzymes are whatever it is in the glycolysis, it is similar in the gluconeogenesis also. Just you look on the reversal of the glycolysis, then you can understand the difference. See, this is a glycolysis process, what we discussed earlier. See, in the gluconeogenesis, I will show one more. The pyruvate is formed in the cytosol. The pyruvate is formed in the cytosol. It is entered into the mitochondria. Then the mitochondria in citric acid cycle, enter to form the acetyl coenzyme. That is different. Then it is entered into citric acid cycle. At the same time, the pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate. It is converted into oxaloacetate in the mitochondria. Then the oxaloacetate is converted into malate. Here the pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate. The enzyme is pyruvate carboxylase. The oxaloacetate cannot enter into the cytosol through the mitochondrial membrane. So it is converted into malate. The malate is enter into the cytosol from the mitochondria. Once I am repeating this step is very important. The pyruvate is formed in the cytosol. After that, the pyruvate is enter into the mitochondria. The two possible reactions is pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A, or in the presence of pyruvate carboxylase enzyme, addition of carbon dioxide to form the oxaloacetate. But these oxaloacetate immediately is not enter into the cytosol from the mitochondria, then to form the malate. These malate easily enter into the cytosol. Again, the malate is converted into oxaloacetate. The malate is again converted into oxaloacetate. This is the oxaloacetate is converted to malate in the mitochondria. Then again it is entered into the cytosol. The malate is converted into oxaloacetate. Then oxaloacetate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. The phosphoenol pyruvate phosphoenol phosphatase. See, oxaloacetate is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate carboxy kinase. In this, the enzyme is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. Got it? So these phosphoenol pyruvate, how is this? This is the. So this is already we studied in glycolysis process. This is from starting glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-phosphate. Then aldolase it is divided into and to form the like this way pyruvate is formed. The pyruvate is entered into mitochondria. So here the pyruvate what we discussed. The pyruvate is formed. It is formed the oxaloacetate. Oxalate in the presence of carboxylase, in the presence of carboxylase enzyme, pyruvate carboxylase enzyme to form the oxaloacetate, and oxaloacetate to form the malate. That malate enter into the cytosol. This is the entire cytosol. This is the mitochondria. In the presence of malate dehydrogenase, here also malate dehydrogenase, here also malate dehydrogenase. So here to form the NAD plus to NADH, NAD plus to NADH plus. So to form the oxaloacetate, these oxaloacetate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. To converted into phosphoenol pyruvate in the presence of phosphoenol pyruvate carboxy kinase. Carboxy kinase. Here utilized the energy. Then formation of this phosphoenol pyruvate. This is a reversal from here, reversal of glycolysis to form the. That's why I given the red button. I given the red button to form the 2-phosphoglycerate. Then after 3-phosphoglycerate, here the enzymes are same, whatever the in the glycolysis. So the 2-phosphoglycerate is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate is 2-phosphoglycerate kinase. So the phosphoenol pyruvate. So here the enzymes are, what are the enzymes involved in the glycolysis? That's it. So 3-phospho, the 3-phospho here the mutase enzyme, 3-phosphate to 2-phosphate here mutase. So now 2-phosphate to 3-phosphate mutase. Then again 3-phosphate to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. Here the enzyme is here the enolase, here it is the kinase, phosphoglycerate kinase. So here the I given the red mark, whichever the especially involved in the gluconeogenesis. Okay. Enolase are already in glycolysis, mutase also glycolysis, and phosphoglycerate kinase also glycolysis. Same, the glycerol is converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Here the dehydrogenase enzyme is the dehydrogenase enzyme. Then the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into dihydroestrone phosphate. Then these two combined, because of it is continuously formation. One molecule it is formed dihydrogen, another molecule came, the glycerol 3-phosphate, then glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroestrone phosphate to form the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Then fructose 1,6 phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. This enzyme is very fructose 1,6 phosphatase, not in the glycolysis. So these are all exogenous, these are all enzymes are involved in the glycolysis, but not in the gluconeogenesis. So fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase essential for the gluconeogenesis. Then it forms the fructose 6-phosphate to glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of isomerase enzyme. Then glucose 6 phosphate is converted into glucose. Glucose 6 phosphate is converted into glucose is glucose 6 phosphatase. This enzyme also important for the gluconeogenesis. So the main important enzymes involved in the gluconeogenesis are pyruvate carboxylase, phosphoenolpyruvate carboxykinase, and phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay. Next, fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase and glucose 6 phosphatase. Remaining all enzymes as it is glycolysis, but it is reversal. Remaining enzymes only these 1, 2, and these enzymes are not. These first two and the last two, fructose 1,6 phosphate and glucose 6 phosphate and pyruvate carboxylate and phosphoenolpyruvate carboxykinase are very, very important in the gluconeogenesis. It is a reversal process of the glycolysis. Okay. So this is the directly phosphoenolpyruvate to fructose. The remaining steps are similar. No, that's why fructose 6 phosphate and glucose 6 phosphate and glucose. It is in cytosol. So the production of glucose energy is so here it is the energy involved. So why it is energy expensive? Because of some ATPs are utilized. So here at the end of the glycolysis, the two pyruvates are formed. The two pyruvates utilize the 4 ATPs and 2 GTPs plus 2 NADH. 2 NADH plus. After this input, here the 4 ATPs, 2 GTPs and 2 NADH plus. If it is utilized unto produces the one glucose molecule, produces the one glucose molecule, and 4 ADP, 2 GDP, and 2 NAD plus 6 phosphates. So this is the energy levels. See, we discussed the formation of glucose from pyruvate is over. The formation of glucose from pyruvate is over. Okay. Now it is formation of glucose from lactate. Formation of glucose from lactate. This formation of glucose from lactase is also called as the process we can call as Cori cycle. Cori, C-O-R-I, Cori cycle. See, where the lactate is formed, first we have to know. It is the lactate is formed in skeletal muscle. The lactate is formed in skeletal muscle. So this is a skeletal muscle cell. This is skeletal muscle cell. This is a liver cell. See how the lactate is formed. Already earlier you studied. In the glycolysis, at the end of the product is pyruvate. At the end of product is pyruvate. In anaerobic conditions, the pyruvate is converted into lactate in the skeletal muscle. So this is in the cell. In the skeletal muscle, glucose is converted into glucose 6 phosphate. Then after the glucose is phosphate, fructose 6 phosphate, fructose 6 phosphate, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, fructose bisphosphate to glycerol 3 phosphate, then glycerol 3 phosphate, glucose glycerol 2 phosphate, glycerol 2 phosphate to phosphoenolpyruvate to pyruvate. It's the entire steps I didn't return. That is glycolysis. So the pyruvate is after that to form the lactate. It is anaerobic condition. The lactate after formation, it is entered into the bloodstream. It is entered into the bloodstream. Then in the blood, the lactate in the blood is slowly reached to the, or fastly, it is reached to the liver. Then when it is entered into the liver, the lactate, the lactate, the lactate is converted into pyruvate in the oxidation process. The oxidation of lactate, when it is undergoes oxidation, the lactate is converted into pyruvate. Then formation of, when it is formed pyruvate, you know how the pyruvate is converted into glucose. Just now only we discuss. So it is happening in the liver. This process we called as Cori cycle. So just you remember these things. Glucose to glycose. That's this we can understand in glycogenolysis in this process. So glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. It is happening. It is utilized by the muscle cell. Then form the finally lactate. These lactates enter into the bloodstream. Then the blood, the lactase reach to the liver. Then the liver, the lactate is converted to pyruvate in the oxidation process. It is very important. The lactate is converted into pyruvate. Then you know how it is, the pyruvate is converted into glucose in just we will discuss. So this is a Cori cycle. Next. Next. Formation of glucose from amino acid. That is also we can call as glucose alanine cycle. Glucose alanine cycle. Just you imagine this is liver cell, this is muscle cell. You know, when the muscle cell taken up the glucose molecule to form the pyruvate through the glycolysis process for the energy purpose. Then the pyruvate it is converted into lactate, and the lactate, if it is enter into the bloodstream, it is another you stated Cori cycle. Then one more is the pyruvate is converted into alanine in the presence of alanine transaminase. This we can also call as transamination. This is a very important step. The pyruvate is converted into alanine. The pyruvate is converted into alanine in the presence of alanine transaminase. Alanine transaminase. So it will take up the one amine group from the one amino acid, take up the one amine group, one amine group from the one amino acid to form the alanine. To form the pyruvate, the pyruvate is converted into alanine, take up the one amine group from the one any amino acid. So pyruvate is converted to alanine. Then these alanine, after formation of these alanine in the muscle, it will enter into the blood. Then the blood, when it is reached to the liver, when it is reached to the liver, in the liver, the alanine deamination. Now it is a deamination. So removal of amine group to form the pyruvate. Then you know how the pyruvate is converted to glucose. How the pyruvate is converted into glucose. Okay, this is formation of glucose from alanine. Formation of glucose from alanine. The important steps here we have to remember that is transamination in the muscle, deamination in the liver. When the transamination happens, the pyruvate is converted into alanine. When the deamination takes place in the liver, alanine is converted into pyruvate. That's we have to remember. Next. So these are the important. And here the pyruvate carboxylase, you know, in the formation of glucose from the pyruvate 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 carboxylase, phosphoenol pyruvate carboxykinase. These are the enzymes. Fructose 1,6 phosphatase and glucose 6 phosphatase. See, energy cost of gluconeogenesis. Energy cost of gluconeogenesis. From pyruvate to glucose. From pyruvate to glucose formation. Cost is 12 ATPs. 12 ATPs. So for pyruvate to glucose formation is 12 ATPs. How? See, already I said that 4 ATP, 2 GTP, 2 NAD. See, already I said that. Already I given one here I given. Input 2 pyruvates, 4 ATPs utilized, 2 GTP utilized, 2 NADH. See, yeah. So GTP equals to ATP. So here the pyruvate carboxylase 2 ATP is used, and phosphoenol pyruvate carboxykinase utilized 2 ATPs, and a phosphoglycerate kinase actually it is GTP, 2 GTP, phosphoglycerate kinase is 2 GTP, another 2 NADH. Here utilized 2. 1 NADH H plus, if it is utilized, 1 NADH H plus, if it is utilized, 3 ATPs. 1 NADH H plus, if it is utilized, it is equivalent to 3 ATPs. That's why 3 into 2, that is 6 ATPs. So total 12 ATP equivalents. So if you get from lactate to glucose, excuse me. Okay. So from lactate to glucose formation, see the formation of lactate to pyruvate is lactate to pyruvate. 2 NADHs are gained. 2 NADHs are gained. That's why 6 ATPs are gained here. Okay. Formation of oxidation. This is it takes place of oxidation. The lactate is converted into pyruvate through the oxidation process. It is especially Cori cycle. So lactate to converted to pyruvate. So 2 NADHs are gained. So that's why after that the pyruvate to glucose is 12 ATPs utilized. Already just we discussed. So from lactate to glucose cost is 6 ATP, because of here the 6 ATP gained. That's why 12 minus 6. So that's why 6 ATP. This is the energy cost in gluconeogenesis. Same, these are all the regulations of enzymes. Mainly the regulations of gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis are the regulations enzymes in gluconeogenesis are: first one is a pyruvate carboxylase. This pyruvate dehydrogenase. It is formation. Dehydrogenase is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, but it is inhibited by acetyl coenzyme A. If it is more is there, acetyl coenzyme, if it is more, it is there, the pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme will be inhibited. Okay, so this one also a regulating enzyme. If it is inhibited only, why? Because it is regulated. If pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme inhibited, the pyruvate enter into the Gluconeogenesis, nothing but the pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate in the presence of pyruvate carboxylase. Otherwise, it is enter into the citric acid cycle. Pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme. Now, these video we can understand the if you learn the glycolysis and citric acid cycle. Otherwise, words coming from mouth, it is difficult to understand. See, the pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. It is the intermediate step between the glycolysis and citric acid cycle. If the acetyl coenzyme A levels more, the pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme inhibited. If it is inhibited, the pyruvate is converted into oxaloacetate in the presence of pyruvate carboxylase. Pyruvate carboxylase is very, very important. Next. And fructose 1,6 phosphatase. I said already, fructose 1,6 phosphatase and glucose 6 phosphatase. These two are regulating enzymes. In the gluconeogenesis. Fructose 1,6 this phosphatase. Fructose 1,6 phosphatase, fructose 6 phosphatase, and glucose 1 phosphatase. So all the regulating enzymes. See, once again, I will which enzymes are regulating. These are all. Pyruvate carboxylase enzyme is regulating enzyme because of it is irreversible step. Pyruvate to oxalate is irreversible, so that's why only one arrow mark, no double arrow mark. Next, oxaloacetate to phosphoenol pyruvate. In the presence of phosphoenol pyruvate carboxykinase. This one also one important regulating enzyme for gluconeogenesis. And the next, this one also irreversible step. Next, fructose 1,6. This is step is important in the gluconeogenesis, but it is reversible. So it forms 3-phosphoglycerate and 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. But it's depending upon the need of the cell, either it form the 3-phosphoglycerate or 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Fine. So here and one more I said fructose 1,6 phosphatase. Fructose 1,6 phosphatase also regulating impact. This one also irreversible step in the gluconeogenesis. Formation of fructose 1,6 phosphate to fructose 6 phosphate in the presence of 1,6 this phosphatase enzyme regulating is a irreversible step. Next, one more irreversible step is glucose 6 phosphate to glucose. Glucose 6 phosphate to glucose. Also using of glucose 6 phosphatase. So these are all enzymes, regulating enzymes in the gluconeogenesis. Okay. So this is regarding the gluconeogenesis.